A dynamical system tracks a quantity through time. That quantity has a boundary it cannot cross without being absorbed. The distance from the current value to that boundary is structural slack. Slack is not a strategy, it is a measurement. When slack is large, many trajectories are available. When slack is zero, the system has no room to move. Control is only meaningful while that distance is strictly positive. The state evolves by a fixed rule. Each step adds a random increment. The absorbing boundary is the value the state must not reach. Slack is computed as the difference between the current state and that boundary. Every step of the update rule either increases or decreases that difference. The boundary itself does not move. Only the state moves, and slack tracks that motion directly. Zero slack is the structural threshold, not a threshold of probability. Slack is not fixed. It changes with every state transition. When the system drifts toward the boundary, slack is consumed. When the system moves away, slack is preserved. A control policy can bias the update rule to favor moves away from the boundary, but the policy only works while slack is above zero. No policy can generate slack out of nothing. It can only slow down how fast slack is consumed. The effect of a control policy depends entirely on how much slack remains. With large slack, the policy can substantially reduce the chance of absorption. As slack shrinks, the policy's leverage shrinks with it. At exactly zero slack, every policy produces the same outcome. Absorption is certain. Below zero, the system is already absorbed. The policy space has collapsed to nothing. Policy effectiveness is bounded above by structural slack, not by the sophistication of the policy. The model breaks when past survival is treated as evidence of current safety. A system can survive near zero slack by chance, many times in a row. Each survival does not restore slack. Reading that survival history as proof of structural cushion is a category error. Slack is a property of the current state, not an average over past outcomes. It must be measured, not inferred. Confusing luck with slack leads to control decisions made on false premises. This model has 4 structural limits that cannot be removed. First, once slack reaches zero, there is no recovery. The absorbing state has no exit. Second, at zero slack, every policy produces the same result. The policy space is empty. Third, slack is not a decision variable. It is a prerequisite for decisions to matter. Fourth, the model assumes a scalar state with a single absorbing boundary. Multiple boundaries or vector states require separate analysis. The constraint is structural, not computational. No optimization removes it.